Hello, I hope you're having a wonderful day. We're going to talk about ghosts, chupacabras, Bigfoot, some other stuff. I'm not really sure. I don't remember. We're going to start off with ghosts. Now, when I grew up, I was taught that ghosts were a real thing, that they were a real entity, and that my mother could see them. Whether or not that was true is where I'm going to leave it. It's something I grew up with, but I'm not certain if ghosts and spirits can linger after someone is dead. So, gonna give it a unclassified, not a true, not a false, just unclassified. Bigfoot. Now, I don't know if it's because I grew up in Oregon and in the woods, but Bigfoot is totally true. Bigfoot, if you don't know what he is, then go look him up. His brothers are Mr. Yeti and Mr. Sasquatch. They all live in different parts of the world, but Bigfoot is completely true. The Mexican Chupacabra is totally real. He is the cousin of Bigfoot, and he's just a lot less shy. So you can see him in some documentaries that he has. He learns how to fly like spaceships and stuff. It's amazing. I forget what the name of the documentary is, but you should go try to find Chupacabra documentary, fly spaceship. He yells a lot, but he's big and furry. He's amazing. Unicorns, totally false. That's stupid. Unicorns. Let's just get a horse with a horn on it. I'm pretty sure it'd be like, I don't know, it'd be stupid. It's false. It's not a real thing. From here on, know that unicorns are not real. Pegasus are completely real. They were killed off back in 1982 because the kings of Arabia saw that their wings had the best delicious meat on them. And so they took their wings, cut them off. The horses, now just horses because they weren't Pegasus, died off, and they couldn't interbreed because they needed their wings to fly to be able to breed in the air, and they couldn't do that anymore, so they all died off. But I heard that the chicken wings, well, the Pegasus wings were delicious. They put barbecue, hot sauce, whatever they could find, put them all up, delicious. Some of them even like made boneless ones, like they took the meat off, put it in a different wrapping. It was positively the best thing that has ever came. But now the Pegasuses are gone, but they were totally real. The Loch Ness Monster. Now, I know this is probably one of everyone's favorites. He's like, there. Loch Ness Monster was completely a true story. They once found him, and then they let him go afterwards. They had like a little conversation. And during the conversation, they learned that because his name is Nessie, he was made fun of a lot, and he just couldn't find a mate. And so we think he died in some underwater cave, and he just didn't repopulate. So Loch Ness Monster is now dead, and there isn't another one, but he's totally true. Another favorite, the Kraken. Now, I got to talk to the Kraken a little bit ago, and so of course he's real. He just had a lot of bad rap after destroying a few ships because he was hungry, of course. Like, you're in the middle of the ocean, you're not just gonna eat sharks. Like, giant ships going across it, that looks amazing to me. He probably thought it was a whale. I didn't actually get that information if he thought it was a whale or not. But what he did tell me is that he had to go into hiding because he was pursued by so many different people. And I'm sorry, Kraken, but there's a picture of him. Elves, either Santa Claus or like Legolas, chink, are all false. I'm sorry to tell you. It's pointy-eared creatures. It's weird. Who cares about ears? Like, the giant ones, pointy ones, whatever. They're just stupid. Leprechauns, like little Santa Claus elves, totally false. The Hobbits. I once saw this documentary about them. They completely died out, I believe, at this point. But the documentary was about a story that they had, and they went on a giant journey with a ring, and I'm not really sure how it ended, but it was a good documentary. It taught me a lot. So Hobbits, completely real. Their feet were extremely big and hairy. It was a really good documentary. Just look it up. Giants. So going from little people like elves, leprechauns, and hobbits, we're gonna go to giant people. The Rock Johnson, giant, 6 foot something. He's a huge individual, big, bulky, right next to Shaquille O'Neal. Look how dwarfy he looks. Look how elfish. Look how he looks like a hobbit next to Shaq. Now, Shaq is not a giant. He he's a half giant. I think his father was a giant and his mother was just a regular human, and that's why he's so tall, but he's not ginormously tall. Like, he's not giant size, but that's only because he's half giant. The only real giant that I know of is, again, I watched it through another documentary. He hung out with a few wizards and stuff like that. He handled some like dragons and stuff like that. It was really good documentary. Taught me a lot about other mystical creatures and which ones were real and which ones were false. Probably watch it. I don't know why I'm spacing out on the names here. Alright, the last one for this video, goblins. Goblins, they're rumored to be really greedy and just complete assholes. Now, I'm gonna tell you, they're true. There's two of them that I've seen with my own eyes. One on a documentary, and I remember this name, the new guy, the main person. It's about him. That's one goblin that I know of. Second one is the general manager of Amazon at Phil 7 in Middletown. His name is Brad Jones. Complete asshole. He has to be a goblin. If you like this video, subscribe, like it, share with your friends, all that jazz.